Before we begin the video, if you haven't yet, come on down and join my Discord server. Link is down in the description. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for my review of episode 11, the Speedway 5 billion. The Red Visors discover the location of Scott's hideout, and the ninja must quickly get to the race. To buy them time, Scott sacrifices himself and holds off the Red Visors. The Speedway 5 billion race begins, and the ninja barely make it, and they're faced with opponents such as the Whack Rats. Sadly though, towards the final leg of the race, Kai and Cole try to fight off some Red Visors, however, both of them die in an explosion. Fortunately though, Racer 7 defies her programming and wins the race. Having obtained the second Kitana, the ninja set off towards their next destination. Okay, so as opposed to the past two episodes, this was not a casual episode at all. In fact, it was very action-packed, and I love the frantic feeling it has, especially at the beginning with the ninja quickly trying to get to the race. The action is definitely the main thing going for this episode, which I think is fine because again, those last two episodes were kind of a breather. Episodes 9 and 10 were kind of a break, but now we're back to the action in full swing. And the action does not disappoint. In my opinion, the Speedway 5 billion was one of the most anticipated things from the season, and it ended up being really good. It has been a while since we've seen a race-type episode. In the past, we've seen the Ninja Ball run, and yeah, I mean, it isn't really something that Ninjago does too much. So seeing another one was welcome for me, and it also works well with the new format. I also like how this is basically Prime Empire's version of Mario Kart, with the loot boxes and all. Those were pretty creative, and I like the way they were used, with Kai's jet turning into a mech and the spike balls and such. So yeah, the action was pretty good. Now I want to talk about a few significant events that happened in this episode, because this episode is probably the most impactful to the plot yet, and that is because a lot of main characters die. In fact, Kai, Cole, and Scott all bite the dust. Let's talk about Scott first. All in all, I felt like his sacrifice was really well done and really did help to establish that frantic tone. I feel like this was a really nice ending for him. He's been holed up in his garage for years, as they mentioned, and now he finally gets the opportunity to fight for something he believes in. It was a really good start to the episode, and it was really well done. And the same can also be said about Kai and Cole's deaths. I thought their sacrifices were really good, and I like how they weren't super dramatic. After all, they're in the heart of the race. They can't just stop to mourn their friends. So yeah, I definitely have to praise those three sacrifices, and I love the impact they have on the plot. And lastly, let's talk about the end of the race, because surprisingly enough, the winner isn't actually the ninja, but Racer 7. I must say that this was actually fairly unexpected from Ninjago, because usually the ninja just win everything. But Racer 7 is the one who wins, and she has a nice character moment as well, so I applaud their work on this. Overall though, this episode is definitely a turning point in Season 12's plot, because now the ninja are really getting serious. They've already gotten used to this video game world, and now they're really going after Unagami. I gotta say, I wish they had done more with Scott, because I feel like he was kind of underutilized. I think he's a pretty good character. His design is fabulous, and I love the voice acting too. The most he did was probably in the Prime Empire shorts, and that isn't even the main season. He also appears in episodes 4, 9, and 10, but aside from a few lines of dialogue, he doesn't really do anything until this episode. And I do realize that his origin story actually does get revealed in episode 14, but by that point he's already dead in the game. It isn't a bad thing, but I feel like it is definitely a missed opportunity, because I think Scott had way more potential than Okino and Racer 7, but yet those characters had more development. Also a minor thing here, but I feel like Racer 7's victory feels a little bit cliche to me. Don't get me wrong, I still really like it, but I just don't really see how believing in yourself caused her to break through her programming. It is definitely a nice conclusion to her story, but in terms of the plot, it feels rather unrealistic. Anyways though, for my final thoughts, I do like the plot of this episode, and Prime Empire's episodes in general have all had good plots. This episode is nicely paced, and it has a great frantic feeling to it, as I've already said. Characters who stand out, obviously Racer 7, and I would say Scott as well. I just wish we had seen more of him. Action is great as well, and I love that we got to see another race-style episode, and it works really well with the 11-minute format. And lastly, we have emotion. Again, Cole, Scott, and Kai all die in this episode, and their sacrifices were nicely done. And we also have Racer 7's victory, which was definitely hard-earned on her part. Anyways, my final rating will be a 9 out of 10. Overall, this was a very fun episode, and there weren't too many bad things about it. What did you guys think of the Speedway 5 billion? Did it live up to your expectations, or maybe not? Let me know down below. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone ever you know, and I'll see you next time.